Hello everyone, it's wonderful to have you with me today. I'm going to be completely candid with you as I start this video. I was getting up this morning, it was pretty early, and I just felt, that early morning grogginess. I mean, I'm always grateful to start my day, grateful to have another chance at life, that type of stuff. But in terms of shooting this video, I just felt a little bit like, gosh, I don't know if I'm energized enough. I don't know if I'm gonna, be able to give this my best today. I just felt a little bit down about shooting the video for whatever reason. And I'm sitting here and I'm doing my makeup beforehand because it was just going to be a sit down and talk about the favorites kind of video. So we do the makeup first, and I can't really explain it, but I felt like a wave of positivity just kind of come over me. I don't know what that was. Maybe it's just the half cup of coffee I finished, but I just felt like, I don't know, a really good vibe come in. So I just wanted to share that sometimes, you start your day and you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, just kind of keep yourself in motion, keep taking those steps, doing those things, putting on the makeup, and then before you know it, I don't know, you might feel that wave. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. We're going to be talking about the favorites for the month of August, and what I'm looking at in front of me is just my most used stuff. And I also pulled up some most used nighttime products because those go most under the radar on my channel because I'm always talking about getting started for the day and what I'm putting on, maybe skincare wise under my makeup, but I rarely give mention to the things that I'm putting on at nighttime before bed. So I've got like 4 before bed products for both body and face that I'm eager to share with you today. But anyway, hope you're feeling the positivity now, and thank you so much for being here. Let's see, I'm gonna just start off, let's start off in the order that something may be applied. I'll mention this Catrice HD Liquid Coverage. This foundation has been so heavily used by me over about the past month or so. I really enjoy the staying power of it, okay? I like the thinness, it's light, it's matte, it lasts a long time. I think it has impressive coverage for how thin it is. Now, I've recently come into the NARS, this new soft matte foundation, and this, watch my whole video on it. It's not quite as much coverage as the NARS, okay, but it's still like for everyday use, and you pair it with the concealer. I just feel really impressed by this stuff. Still love this. This kind of knocks my socks off for staying power, but it's kind of like, hey, this costs quite a bit less and it's getting the job done for me. Find it very easy to blend in. You just apply it with the dropper and you're good. I wear it in the shade Sand Beige, and you can watch a whole demo of this going on in my Catrice video, but I do think it may be one of the best foundations at the drugstore price range. So I've been using that a lot, loving that. Definitely starting to use the NARS a lot as well. So they're kind of competing right now, honestly, but as far as the last month is concerned, this one's been getting used the most. I've also been using this Age Perfect Radiant Concealer a lot, which was kind of the top product along with one of the lipsticks. The top product out of that new L'Oreal Age Perfect line for me. I thought the concealer was really impressive, and I wear it in Ivory, and to me it's like a little bit juiced up version of the Infallible Pro Glow concealer. All right, it's the same format, same kind of look of the packaging, but just got a little more moisture, a little extra hydration in there. Still very thin, lightweight. I'm wearing that today as my under eye concealer, and I don't think it does the most in terms of coverage, but it does do quite a bit, and it makes me feel good to wear it like alongside a matte foundation. For whatever reason, it kind of like, I don't know, livens up those areas that we really don't want to get too dry. So again, if there's a full video, which in a lot of cases there will be, a video showing an application of these products, I'm going to be linking it below. A really neat product that I've been continuing to use and experiment with this past month has been this Laura Geller Baked Balance and Bronze. It's half Bronze and Brighten over here and half Balance and Brighten, which Balance and Brighten is a powder foundation. How interesting to have a powder foundation split pan with a bronzer. There's definitely a depth to this bronzer, as you can see, even though it's swirled in with tones of pink and cream and tan. There's just such a contrast between these two. And I remembered saying, well, if you find the bronzer to be a little bit dark, maybe you swirl it in with a little bit of the powder foundation, and that's exactly what I've been doing. And I feel like I get this really interesting look to my bronzer, actually, because I've got it on today, but it's so incredibly seamless. Like I contoured with this, but it was all in mixing, and this side of the product like added coverage to that, and it added a little bit of lightness to that because this is pretty deep, and it just made it so like completely meshed in with the skin in a very easy, effortless way. When I got this and when I checked back on it, it's only available in this shade called medium, so that means they're giving you balance and brighten in the medium tone. This may not be a universally workable thing, but the more I realize that it's the mixture of these two that I love so much, it may work for quite a few people actually, because you're just taking this bronzer and kind of taking it down a notch with the balance and brighten. It's such a strange thing to think you're applying the bronzer, but you're adding coverage to the skin through the bronzer somehow. It's weird, okay? It's weird. I like it. I think it's cool. It kind of makes you wonder about, well, maybe if I had a bronzer and a powder foundation and I dip back and forth between the two separate things, what kind of effect would that give on the skin? You might try it even if you don't have this. Okay, these e.l.f. little duo products. This is my official follow-up on these, the duo bite-sized face palettes. We all know and love the eyeshadow quads, okay? Those are very popular. And then they put out these like blush and highlight duos. And I've pretty much tried all of them, and I've come down to my two favorites. One of them was the basis for a recent look, and it's the one called Spiced Apple. This one I love. I love the neutral quality to this blush, and the highlight is actually really pretty as well. It's got a little more gold in it than I might usually seek out in a highlighter, but it's a very pretty eyeshadow too. And I've used that shade and that alone as eyeshadow, maybe a little bit of this in the crease. It's a beautiful look. If you're looking for monochromatic, which is what I did in that video, you know, this was on the cheeks, this was on the eyes, a very similar shade was also on the lips, and it came together so, so beautifully in kind of an understated way. This blush is not shouting at you, you know, it's a very like muted blush, but yet it gives you quite a bit of radiance. So I really like the tones in there. I think it's very earthy, very beautiful as we head into fall. So I love that. My other favorite is the one called Watermelon. And I think it's important that I mention this because the highlighter is not what it seems. This highlighter does not look peach on the skin. It looks incredibly brightening, yet softly pearlescent on the skin. Okay, that's what I'm wearing as my highlight today. Could that be any more sneaky? Like, you're not looking at that and saying, oh, look at the streak of unblended chunky highlight. No, it's just like a veil. It's lighter and brighter than it looks in the compact. It does not look peach. It just looks like boom. Very brightening, no chunk, no texture in it. And then you got this beautiful blush to pair with it that, I mean, who could this not work for? This kind of deep rose. Absolutely love it. It's got a little warmth to it, you know, a little warmth in that shade, but you look at it side by side with this one and, you know, there's more of a pink vibe here. Here, it's a little bit more earthy, neutral, and I love them both, and they're definitely my top two favorites. It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of sorting through that line to come to that conclusion, so I definitely wanted to share another blush that I think is just the bomb here. This is from CoverGirl. It's the True Blend So Flush Blush. This is the shade called Sweet Seduction. This is a beautiful kind of in from the cold. It's weird to say that because it's still hot outside these days, but this is that rosy flush blush with just a little bit of sheen. You can look way up close on it. You're not gonna see chunks. No like filler particles or anything like that. It's just very, very smooth, nice and rosy. You can see as it's not fully hitting the light, there's definitely some depth here. You don't need to use a lot of this product to get a nice effect from it, but it has a little glow. I love it. I love the tone. I love the texture. So I really needed to mention that because alongside the e.l.f., that's been a majorly reached for blush lately. I feel like I've talked about this little thing a lot, but I think it's majorly underrated, and I've recently been coming into its dual purpose. This is the e.l.f. Lock On eyeliner and brow cream. So I've been wearing it in my brows a lot. Been liking the brows. You know, you got to use it with a little restraint. You can't go too hard with it because it is going to apply a decent amount of creaminess. But I've come to realize that using the double-ended brush that e.l.f. also sells, you know, you put in the product, you can use your spoolie. It's definitely something I can manage, and I wear it in the shade Espresso. But how about this as eyeliner too? It's great as eyeliner. This is a nice, rich, dark shade. Now, some of you blondes out there who might be going for a lighter shade of this, the idea of wearing your light brow shade as your eyeliner, I get that that may not work for everyone, but if you're a brunette and you're using this in your brows, this is also amazing as eyeliner. Long wearing, definitely does lock on. You're getting a good amount of product in here, and I just feel like, wow, what a great quality thing, and it's got that dual purpose for me. You kind of question the creaminess when you're using it in your brows, but then you start using it as eyeliner, and you're like, thank God it's that creamy, so it can go on so easily. I do use a little bit smaller brush than this if I'm using it as eyeliner. Sigma's got a little EO6 winged liner brush if you're looking for something really small and controlled, or you could go into it with a little bit bigger, like smudgier brush if you want more of a smudgy liner. You do have that opportunity to smudge it out, but then it does set and it wears a long time. So I'm a big fan of that product. What is it, like $5, $6? I think it's amazing. No, it might only be $4. I feel like so much of this video is kind of a review, like so many of these products came up in different videos. None of them are really coming out of the blue, which I guess kind of legitimizes their favorite status because I have been using them and talking about them. But I hope this isn't too redundant for you because I know you have heard me chat about some of these things already. But the Basic Bae palette from Catrice, I know I don't love the name of it, but it is absolutely some of the best, easiest to work with eyeshadow. We're talking some of the best at drugstore price range. $15 palette, and everything in there is so smooth and beautiful. The textures are great. It's a very basic neutral palette though. You know, you're not getting real splashes of color or anything very loud, but you are getting a really nice mix of matte and shimmer. Today I'm wearing, let's see, these two shades in the crease, this blended above, this one called Extra AF. This gold is what I've got on my inner part of my lid, and I've got a lot of this shimmer right here actually blended up into the crease and also on the lid. So that shade's got some shimmer and it's kind of coming in there too with the look. But what I've said about this palette, and I think it's just so like on point for what it is, the shades have pigment. They're easy to work with, but they're not like scary to work with. You know, you don't have to be so careful that you're like, oh my gosh, is this going to overwhelm me? Like, they're not overwhelming shades, but they are plenty pigmented and they are really easy to blend. And I love that palette. And if you're looking for basics, that's what it is. You could still get variety among your everyday looks with this. You know, you can vary the amount of a deep shade you might use. I think several of these midtones could be nice one shadow looks for sure, but the textures in there are so incredibly nice. You're not going to hit one of those shimmers and be like, oh, there's the dud. There's the one that had all the, you know, the glitter snuck into it or something like that. Absolutely not. Everything is great. A mascara that I've been reaching for a heck of a lot has been my Voluminous Lash Paradise. Been coming back to this one over and over again, really remembering why I loved it so much, like after it first launched. It's got that gentle hourglass shape. Honestly, I'd prefer a smaller brush, but we go with it, and I do feel like it gives me nice separation, kind of a fluttery feel to the lashes, a softness to the lashes. It might just be that the age of this product is kind of perfect right now. You know how you use a mascara for a couple weeks and then it's like, oh, I've really come into its sweet spot. That's definitely where I'm at with this right now. So I've been using it and enjoying it a lot and just trying to get the most mileage I can out of that tube. And the lip product. Now, here's something that I don't know that I've talked a whole lot about. This is the Generation G from Glossier. I'm wearing it in the shade Like. Hey, that was one of Belle's sight words the other day. It's a beautiful, soft, pillowy kind of lip color here. It's like a matte tinted lip balm. Okay, so I've got it on already, but I'll build on it just a little bit so you can see some color intensity show up here. You see what I mean about like pillowy? It doesn't take your lips and turn them into a real like shiny slick situation. It just gives them that full-on even, very even looking tint of color, but yet it still has sheerness. There's a little bit of, I don't know, creaminess to the lips, but not a ton. You know, this isn't gonna feel like you just put on a lip smacker and now your lips are just like, ooh, really smooth and shiny and slicked up with product. It does have like kind of a little bit of a dry down, but you still feel some balmy nature to it. But I think it's kind of a cool look because it's like, okay, I wanted to have berry lips today, but I didn't need the fullest, darkest, deepest thing. I just wanted kind of a tint, and I think that's so pretty with that. Also love the look of a berry lip and a golden eye, so try that out sometime. The other thing that I've reached for a ton because it's just such an easy product to use, it's such a everyday kind of lip color. It's the Rum Raisin shade from the Revlon Melting Glass. I'll show a picture of me wearing this in a recent video. Also, there's the color right there. Kind of an earthy, dusty rose, sort of a warmish, dusty rose. Very, very easy for me to pick up that shade and feel like, okay, that looks good with pretty much anything. The formula on these, I feel like they're just a little bit greasy. They've got a lot of shine going on, so maybe you're gonna have some of that. I like that the L'Oreal's have, I think, just a bit more thickness, but still I feel like as I wear it, maybe it becomes just a little bit less so, and maybe that's just as some of the shine wears off, and I just think it's a really pretty color, and I dig it. Now I'll get into the things that I've been using at nighttime for my skincare. One of the things, if you've been watching me for a little while, you've heard me talk about the Pharmacy Honey Grail. Didn't I start using this at some point early on in my last pregnancy, I think? It's almost gone, but this is from the brand Pharmacy, and you can get that at Sephora, and it's ultra hydrating face oil. And my skin has just responded so well to this, and it's got a little dropper. I use probably about half a dropper on my face every night, and I just put it on my forehead and blend it in all over. It's so moisturizing. Fairly recently, I may have worked in a different night cream here or there, like something I've been sent and I thought I'd try it, but I noticed like a big difference when I start my day and I've used this the night before. I just feel like the skin looks better in the morning. Now, another element that I've been adding in, and this I've probably used a third of, it's the Honeymoon Glow. This is the AHA Resurfacing Night Serum with hydrating honey, it says, and gentle flower acids. But they say this is going to resurface your skin for a smoother, more youthful looking, glowing complexion. You're only supposed to use this 2 to 3 times a week. So that's what I do. So that'll be what I wear under this several times a week. And then otherwise it's just this. I think that's been a good combination for me. I've enjoyed these very much. I think it's kind of amazing that overall, like, this has stuck with me for so long. And I've kept coming back to it, even if I have experimented here or there with a couple other products. Now, if I do use my self-tanner drops, I put those into, I've got currently like a little tub of some moisturizer from Milk down there. For whatever reason, I feel funny about putting the drops in with this oil, so I put it in with more of like a creamy moisturizer. So that happens from time to time, but more often than not, it's this product that I'm using. And then a couple of highlights here from the brand Truly. Do you remember when I tried this unicorn fruit lip balm from this line? And I really complained about it because it seemed like pure fluff. My finger just like kind of went down into the product, and then it was like it was hollow practically. The stuff was so light and airy and fluffy, like it should have been a big tub of product, but your finger, like I said, just kind of went down into it and it squished it all. It was very strange, and I felt like I was getting almost ripped off by the product. Then time passes, TikTok happens. TikTok is apparently a huge influence on the products I want to try, and I see a lot about this stuff on there. It's the unicorn fruit whipped body butter. This has acai, chia seed, matcha, rose water, and collagen boost, and this stuff smells like an absolute, it's like just sugar. It's cotton candy. Oh my gosh, you just want to take it with a spoon and eat it. But this, now I've used it. Can you see how I've used it down there? When you first open it up, it looks like the product has been piped in or something. Like, it's really cute looking. You can maybe see the effect of that like down at the bottom. But this is dense as heck. Like, it's super concentrated. You feel like you are getting a really rich experience here, and then it kind of has to melt into the skin. It's absolutely beautiful, and I was so surprised that it was so different from the lip product that I'd tried. Now, maybe that lip product has changed, maybe the formula has changed, but this stuff is incredibly dense. You can tell it's just packed with product, and simply the texture of the moisturizer, the body cream, is so thick. It really does have to melt down into the skin. The other thing I'm using, which this has a crazy pretty cap on it, very heavy, the Chest Neck Sleep Mask. It has adaptogenic super herbs, hyaluronic acid, and collagen for tightening and firming. So this I have been using here and all throughout here, and this smells like berries and cream. Oh my gosh, it just is fabulous. I've used about the same amount of both of these products, and it's the same texture, really thick, extremely rich, melts into the skin. I'm not sure yet how much it's firming me, but I feel like this was an area that I kind of neglected with my skincare, and I didn't so much want to use up a lot of extra honey grail down there, you know, this product that I'm using all over my face. So I thought, why not? If we're gonna dive into this line, let's try something that can be used there. I probably could get away with using this here and getting some benefits, but I use them both. The smells are just really beautiful. I really like them both. But those, guys, are the 4 things that I end up using on face and body every night before bed, except this one, the Honeymoon Glow, is just a couple times a week. So my friends, thank you so much for tuning in for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a few ideas of some great products that you might want to try, or maybe just some different ideas on how to use things that you already have. Thank you for sharing any video requests with me. If you've got any, please put them in the comments section, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Bye.